Hey, modeling freaks, fans, and friends, it's yours truly, the Pope of Plastic, here in the Cathedral of Model Building. You know, as a professional model builder, it takes a lot to get me excited. I see models from everybody, I build models from everybody, but the only model company that truly gets me excited when they say, "Hey, Pope, would you mind if we send you our latest release?" And I immediately say, "Oh my goodness gracious, I cannot wait. Absolutely, please send it to me because I can't wait to build it. I can't wait to open it. I can't wait to smell the plastic. I can't wait to look at the instruction booklet." And what would that be? You've heard me talk about them many times before. I glorify them every time I speak about them because it's for good reason. They are the best of the best. And ladies and gentlemen, tonight I just got the brand new release from Zoukei-Mura from Japan, 1/32 scale BF109, and I cannot wait to open this and show you what Zoukei-Mura has sent me. I have not seen it yet, but this is a brand new release. In fact, I think it just got released to the public. It's either coming up in the next few days or shortly. Maybe it's in the beginning of October. It doesn't matter. It's brand new, and I cannot wait to see their latest BF109. So why don't we open it together? Now, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to show you exactly what it looks like when they send something to me. I haven't even opened the box yet. I mean the outer carton. They are a master. As good as they are with producing model kits, they're just as good at packaging models, and it is something to behold. So I want to bring you through the entire experience, and then we'll open the model and we'll go through the whole thing. So I am going to get the model and we're going to open it together. What do you think of that? And here is the box that the models come to me in from Zoukei-Mura. Even the box itself is beautiful. Volks US. Volks, look at that. It's beautiful. It's always comes in perfect packaging. And every time I see one of these boxes, I get truly excited. I get giddy like a schoolgirl, we'll say, because I know whatever is inside here is going to be the best of the best and spectacular, and I cannot wait to build it. If you have not built a Zoukei-Mura yet, you have got to. You have got to build one of their models, one of the Super Wing series or one of their 148 scale Phantoms, or anything they produce is absolutely the best there is. So we're going to open this up carefully. I've got my X-Acto knife. And then we're going to slit the top here. Look at this. Fresh, factory fresh, as we say. Look at this. Okay, so let's pull out the paper. I'm going to keep this for when I have to send models out. Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it is all about. This is Christmas. This is Christmas. This is Hanukkah. This is every holiday all wrapped into one. Look at this. Comes in always. They always do it in this beautiful tissue paper, so not to mar the box itself. So we are going to open this together. I'm going to cut. Let's see what we got here. All right, I can't do this. Okay, we're just gonna open. Look at this. Always fantastic box art. Look at this box art. Look at this box art. Look how cool this box art is. Super Wing Series 1/32 scale number 25 BF109 G-4. This would be the desert version, like they would have flown in Tunisia in the beginning of the war. And again, Bf109 is one of my absolute favorite aircraft. I built their other Bf109 G model, and truly the greatest 1/32nd scale model I've ever had the pleasure of putting together. It just fantastic, and I love it. It's got the underwing cannons. It's got the nose cannon. I love this paint scheme. And their boxes are always top notch. They're what you want to see. Let's see if I can get this to focus. Always wants to focus. Look at that. A box art is absolutely beautiful. The model itself is, I mean, the box doesn't do it justice. All right, so let's open this bad boy up. Oh, their packaging is absolutely the best on the planet. Everything about Zoukei-Mura is the best, I'm sorry. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to go to the instruction manual first. And I'll explain. I've done this in other videos. I've kind of explained what their, kind of their instructions. Their instructions are not instructions. They're a book. I mean, they are a book. They are not just instructions, on a pamphlet. They are truly an in-depth document on the actual aircraft, and you get to learn everything about whatever it is you're building. And that's the great thing about their instructions. When you get done building a Zoukei-Mura model, you truly get to learn about the aircraft and the subject matter, and you come away as an expert because they include everything in it, what all the pieces are, what they're named, what exactly their function are, and beautiful decals. I'm gonna guess these are cartograph. Yep, cartograph decals, the best of the best, printed in Italy. Just fantastic. This thing does not want to focus today. You ever get that with your camera where it just doesn't want to focus, wants to focus on everything in the background versus everything that you're put in front of the camera? Anyway, gorgeous screen printed decals. When you see cartograph on the bottom of the sheet, you know it's a quality decal, and you're not going to have any problems with them. Now we got our masking. Our masking sheet for our canopies and our glass. Kind of hard to see. You got to put it under the light and kind of see where the perforations are, and then use your X-Acto knife and carefully pull the masking material away. Okay, let's move on to the instruction book, not booklet, book itself. Now, they always include, this is something I love. This is something I love. They always include the beautiful catalog of all the models that they offer in all the scales, 1/48 scale, 1/72 scale. They probably have the best selection of 1/48 scale Phantoms on the planet. And I tell you, I just built the 1/48 scale Phantom 2, and it was the greatest F4 Phantom model I've ever had the opportunity to put together. It's as detailed as any 1/32 scale kit that's out there, and the fit is absolutely spectacular, and it just, the model comes out unbelievable. I can't recommend it highly enough. So anyway, this is good when you're when you want to sit on the toilet and daydream like I used to do when I was a kid. I'd sit there. Back then it was the Tamiya catalog. I'd sit there on the toilet with the Tamiya catalog, and my mom would scream, "Is everything okay in there? Is everything okay in there, Pope?" I'd say, "Yeah, Mom, I'm just looking at the Tamiya catalog." "Okay, be careful in there. Don't hurt yourself." Anyway, so you got that. Now let's look at this. Woo-hoo-wee. We're talking no joke, ladies and gentlemen. It's not an instruction pamphlet like I'm working on right now. I'm working on the Academy F14. Here's a typical instruction sheet. There you go. There's your typical instruction sheet right there. We call it a sheet because that's exactly what it is. My friends at Zoukei-Mura produce a instruction book. A book, not a sheet. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. You want to talk about some bathroom reading material, look at this thing. Look, even if you don't think you're good enough to build the model, buy the model anyway, just so you can look at the instruction manual, because it's a work of art, an absolute work of art. And I like reading it. I'll read through this totally to familiarize myself with everything before the build, and I do that with every build, no matter what I'm building. But this is a joy to read because you get to learn so much about the subject matter, like I said earlier. So anyway, let's take a quick look through the manual here. Let me see if I can get this. Yeah, so it always, of course, starts out with your history, talks about the armament, the engine, and you get to read a lot, like typical instructions. You get to read all about the aircraft that you're getting ready to build. And then they do a nice kind of a see-through cutaway of the aircraft. You want to early on start paying attention to this stuff, because everything that is written in their instruction book, it means something, and you need to pay attention to everything, whether it's building a different version and where to pay attention to things in the booklet. There is a lot to learn as you're reading the instructions, so you really want to read this. And like I said, it's a joy to read because it's so well done. And you're going to get all your different paint colors, and make sure you familiarize yourself with those things, the tools and everything else. You should already know all this stuff. And then what I love about Zoukei-Mura is they show you, before you start the first section, the first step, they show you what it looks like completed. So you're already looking at this and saying, okay, in this section, I know that I'm going to be building the engine, and this is what the engine should look like when it's completed. In the master craftsman that is building these models is doing it absolutely to a professional level. So you can really look at this and get a really good idea what the finished engine looks like. And now, like when I do this, I'm going to make a few changes. I'll do my weathering a little bit different. But that's what's so great about model building. For people who love model building, what they're doing is giving you a blank canvas to do what you want. They're giving you the detail, they're giving you all the components, and then you go and do it how you feel like you should do it. Or if you just want to do it straight, exactly like they do it, they provide you all the information to do that. But so there we go, we got the finished engine, and now what we're going to do, and I haven't even seen this instruction booklet, but I've built a number of Zoukei-Muras now. I know that now we're going to start with the first section, and yes, we are. So we're starting with the very first. This includes all the pistons for the engine. They show you each step by step, in full color, what it should look like, where everything should be located. They give you different directional illustrations, so it makes it easier to figure out where things should be being placed, inside the sequence of building. And then you move on. Let's see how many pages are in the engine. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 pages of just the engine. There are very few model kits out there that are, the instruction booklet is 12 pages. 12 pages just for the engine. That excites me beyond words. That means that this is very beautifully engineered. It means it's very detailed. It's as close to building the real thing in 1/32 scale that you possibly can do. Now they're showing you again. Okay, so now we're going to move to the cockpit. They're showing you what the finished cockpit should look like. And again, then you move on and you start building the cockpit. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they give you the option of doing glass, a glass instrument panel, or they usually, and we'll see when we get into the plastic, where you can paint the dials yourself, which is what I like to do because I feel that is the art of model building, and I enjoy doing instrument panels, and it's just what I love to do. It's one of my most favorite things to do is to do the cockpit, and obviously the instrument panel is one of the most important things. And they provide you both. If you're not very good at painting instrument panels, then they give you the decals and they give you the clear plastic, and you can do the glass gauges and all that stuff. I prefer painting mine. That's just the art for me. So then you're still doing all the cockpit. Again, they're showing you step by step. They're showing you beautiful photographs. And then now we're going to get to the next section where the engine in the cockpit is going inside the fuselage. And then you're going to start with the fuselage. The beautiful thing about Zoukei-Mura is they include all the ribbing inside for the structure of the fuselage and the wings. So if you wanted to, you could build this with, say, 1/2 off or panels off, and you can see the internal structure of the airplane just like the real thing. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing. An absolute beautiful thing. And it just looks fantastic when you're building it. It's really exciting to see it when you're gluing it all together and you're looking at it before you put the two halves together. Make sure if you are going to close it up, what I recommend doing is taking a lot of really good photographs so you can show your friends, or if you're building this for somebody, hey, look, look how much work I had to put into the interior of this thing, and look how beautiful it is. And then the person that you're building it for, or yourself, you can go back and you can admire your work and admire all the detail. When I build a model for somebody, I like to provide a lot of photographs as I'm building and during the build, and then after the build. I like providing the customer with all sorts of images so they can see all the work that went into it. Then you get into your tail wheel, extremely detailed. And again, I mean, it goes on. We could spend all night just looking at the instructions. Like I said, all the ribbing inside the wings, all the fuel tanks, all the control lines, all the ammunition. And I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. And then beautiful, beautiful photography of the finished model. So you can follow this guide and end up with a beautiful model just like this. If you take your time and you're patient and you follow everything, you should be able to come up with a very nice model very close to this. And usually they give you some other versions as well. Here's more photography. Yep, here's your different paint versions. So you can choose which versions you want. And of course, they provide you with all the decals and everything to do that. Anyway, that is an instruction book. That's what it looks like when you're going to build a Zoukei-Mura model. This is typical. This is typical. None of this. None of this. None of this. Toilet paper. A complete book, a manual, if you will. A manual. You'll be a Bf109 engineer by the end of the build. Okay, let's get into the fun stuff. Okay. So let's look at our clear parts here. Let me get some scissors. Everything is top notch. Look at this. Even look at their clear plastic is just absolutely flawless. And now see, look, they give you two different instrument panels, probably for two different, oh, wait a minute. So they're giving you two, I'm not sure exactly why. Maybe one sandwiches in the other so you get the clear instrument gauges is what I'm guessing. So I think that this is probably a two-piece that goes together is what I'm guessing. But the clear plastic is crystal clear. Beautiful, beautiful. And all the lines. Here's one of your lines that goes inside the cockpit. I think that's an oxygen line. Beautiful, beautiful. Put that over there. I keep all the bags. Once I go do one of these unboxings, I go back and put everything back in the bag, just so I'm not losing anything. So I'll save all these little bags until I'm ready to build. Here's your fuel tank. Very similar to the Bf109 I built not long ago. Keeps wanting to focus in on me. But look how beautifully that is molded. I mean, beautiful. Never any flash. The plastic is the perfect durometer. It's not too hard, it's not too soft. I prefer plastic on the softer side. It's just a little easier to sand. It glues better. It takes paint better. And I just prefer a little bit on the soft side plastic, and that's what this is. It's just gorgeous, gorgeous plastic. Beautiful, beautiful plastic. A lot of people are saying, oh, what difference does it make? What kind of plastic? I mean, it makes a lot of difference. Plastic could be too brittle, which makes it easy to crack. Soft plastic is too easy to score. If you slip, you know, you can gouge the plastic, and if it's soft, it gouges deeper. So then you have to go back and fill it in with, you know, some putty or whatever. I mean, this is it's just stunning. It's just stunning. Everything is so perfect and molded so perfect. I mean, the texture on the fuselage, it's just got a slight texture to it. Everything is molded so perfectly without any flash whatsoever. And I can tell you from building Bf109 of theirs before, the fit is flawless. Like, I believe, did I use any putty? I don't think I used any putty whatsoever on the last build. I mean, you always sand seam lines. I don't care how perfect it is. You're always sanding the seam lines slightly, you know, just to make sure they're perfectly smooth. Then I put on kind of my base coat. Then I double check all of the seam lines, make sure everything's perfect. But if memory serves me right, I didn't have to use any putty whatsoever on the last Bf109 build I did for Zoukei-Mura. But just the plastic's stunning. Absolutely stunning. I'm going to use the word stunning a lot. It's stunning. It's stunning, stunning, stunning. Let's see how many different adjectives I can use while describing this, because I've used stunning already about 750 times. So now I'm going to say, look at this. Here's the top of your wing coverings, your flaps, everything. And let me tell you, it is miraculous. It is miraculous how beautiful it is. It is a miracle. It is a miracle of plastic model engineering. An absolute miracle. Okay, I used miracle on this sprue. Just inside detail on the, come on, this thing is just not focused. There we go, look at that. Beautiful detail on the inside of the wing skins. And the engine. My second favorite part, or maybe even my first favorite part, is doing the engine. And let me tell you, The Zoukei-Mura engine on its own is a work of art, an absolute work of art that you could seriously just display it on its own, and it would be its own beautiful model. And I'm going to say it's nothing short of miraculous. Miraculous. This is a miraculous sprue. It is miraculous. I mean, everything is perfect. Oh, oh, and it smells. It smells like it's a gift from the gods of model building. I was supposed to see the folks from Zoukei-Mura and Volks at the IPMS, but unfortunately, we've been having some family health issues, and it has been hard to get out and get away. And when I tell you, I'm more than disappointed that I did not get to meet everybody at Zoukei-Mura. I mean, it really saddened me because I was very, very excited to meet all the folks. Look at this. Now here's all your wing detail. And I mean, this is, what adjective could I use on this? This is stupendous. This is stupendous, the detail. Stupendous. Look at this. Look at the stupendous detail. Yes, it's a lot of sprues, and I was going to count as I was doing this, and I forgot to do that because I was so mesmerized by the model kit. Forgive me, I did not. I'll count the sprues when we put them back in the box. I'll tell you exactly how many we got. And look at this. This is a dandy of a sprue. Look at the beautiful, beautiful prop. This is a dandy. This is a dandy of a sprue. Look at this. Boy, it just wants to focus on me. No matter where I'm at, this stupid camera wants to focus on me. I think the phones are trained to be able to look into the background to see if they can pick up anything, illegal or something, and that's why it does this. Look at that. Oh, wait a minute, there might be something in the background. Let's focus in on the background. That was a dandy of a sprue right there. Okay, let's see what we got next. I mean, this is just, whew, I'm going to have a hard time sleeping tonight. I am going to have a hard time sleeping tonight. I'm going to be dreaming about Bf109s and what I'm going to do to take this over the top. I got to outdo my last Bf109, and I know that's going to be hard for me to do because I put my heart and soul into the last one. And oh, here's your cannon for underneath. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, I was going to use a different adjective. Man, that's a lot of sprues. You got to put on your big boy pants when you build a Zoukei-Mura, or big girl pants. Big girl, big boy. I don't want to be, leave the ladies out. There's probably some ladies out there that wouldn't mind building a Zoukei-Mura kit. I say some women model builders out there are fantastic model builders, especially figure painters. Fantastic figure painters, incredible figure painters. And the ladies that I've seen that build plastic models are unbelievable. Here we go. Look how beautiful. Yep, focus on me, don't. That's the interior of the cockpit right there. Look at that. Look how beautifully molded this is. Look at that. Oh yeah, this isn't one of Grandpa's monogram kits from 1971. This is serious business right here. This is Smithsonian uh, Air and Space Museum quality model production over here. That's what this is. This is Smithsonian level. This ain't Grandpa's monogram P38 from 1971, which isn't a bad model, by the way. But this is next level. When you want to go to the next level, when you want to get to the Mount Everest of model building, this is what you get. When you want to get to the Mount Everest of plastic models, this is what you choose. Okay, the last sprue. And then we're going to count and see how many sprues we've got total on here. Okay, we've got other wing skins. I think these are probably for a different version. I think these are a different version. This is for the version that I just did, I believe. I'll be doing the early version. And then look at the control panel. Remember I was telling you the control panel? Let's see if we can get it. Look how beautifully molded that instrument panel is. That is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious beautiful right there. I mean, woo-hoo-wee. I mean, you want to talk about special? This is special. This is special. I cannot wait to dig into this. I cannot wait to build my second Bf109. So that's one sprue. Let's see how many we got. One sprue. Two sprue. Three sprue. Four sprue. 5 sprue, 6 sprue, 7 sprue, 8 sprue, 9 sprue, well it's small, quarter sprue, and then your glass sprue. So, I mean, all said and done, I mean, you're looking at 13 sprues is what you're looking at pretty much in total. And 13 sprues of the most spectacular plastic you will ever have the pleasure of opening. The best plastic you will ever build. I don't know of anybody who's topped anything like this. And they're all like this. All of their models are like this. All of them. And you can't go wrong. Are they expensive? A little bit, you know, but I mean, look, they're about the same price as a 1/32 scale Tamiya. Maybe even a little cheaper, believe it or not. I mean, you look at the price of like the Tamiya Mosquito 1/32 scale now, which is over $200 for the kit. And that's a good kit, but it's still not at the level of the detail of what they do. And what I will always say about them is this: when you put this much care into the engineering, the instruction book, the decals using Cartograph, which is the best of the best, you know that the company cares about the subject matter. They care about the quality. The people, when you talk to them at the factory level, they are wonderful. They respond. They're knowledgeable, and that goes a long way with me, especially for somebody who builds professionally and builds a lot of models. I like being able to communicate with the model company so I can give them feedback and they can give me feedback, and it's a two-way street. And I get that with the folks at Zoukei-Mura and Volks, and they're just a wonderful group of people. They produce a beautiful product. They're going to continue to produce beautiful product. I know they're working on some great new stuff now. I'm just going to beg them right now, if they're watching this video, please, I'm begging you, I'm begging you, I'm begging you, please do an F-86 Sabre in 1/32 scale. One of my favorite aircrafts. Nobody does a good F-86 Sabre. Nobody. They're all terrible. Terrible. And this is like low-hanging fruit for the folks out there. I'm talking directly to you there over in Japan. This is a layup. It's a layup. If you do a 1/32 scale F-86 Super Sabre, you're going to sell out because people are clamoring for them, and there are no really good kits out there, especially in 1/32 scale. And with the detail that you're able to do over there, it would be an absolute slam dunk. Slam dunk. I have so many customers that want an F-86 in 1/32 scale, and there's just nothing out there. There's nothing good out there. Thank you, folks at Zoukei-Mura, for sending me this gorgeous, gorgeous model kit. I cannot wait to build this. I cannot wait to build anything else you have coming up. I'll be doing the Horton, the new Horton that just came out. I'll be doing that soon. And we'll be doing other Zoukei-Muras. But every time I get a new release from them, it is like, it's like manna from heaven. Manna falling from heaven. I can't say that enough. And look, I'm not just trying to blow steam over here. I build a lot. I build as much as anybody else probably in the world. Last year I built 64 models. That's a lot. And a lot of them were big scale, 1/32 scale. This year I'm already, I think, over 40 models. And I'm not trying to toot my horn. What I'm trying to do is say I build a lot. I see every model. I see every model company. I see every instruction booklet. And I know when something is really, really good. And then having the experience of building them and telling you they're virtually flawless. Are they easy? No. They're not easy. They're not for a beginner. Just because you have to have some modeling knowledge, just the way things work. But even if you're not an expert model builder, you should still buy the kit because it'll give you something to aspire to. You put this on your shelf and you practice on some good 1/48 scales, some Tamiyas, some Hasegawas, and you get good at it. You get used to doing all the things you need to do, and you start getting a little bored with doing, you know, the easier kits. Then you move up to something like this. You know, and something like this for the average person, it's going to take them a couple of months to build this thing. And I think for me, when I built the last Bf109, I probably spent nearly a month on it. A month, probably 150 hours. A lot of that is painting and weathering. But look, what I'm saying is go get one. Go get one while you can. Their kits tend to sell out and they become hard to get, and then when they get on the secondary market like eBay and stuff like that, they get expensive. So I would get it while you can get it. I know there's different outlets in the United States you can get it from. I'm not sponsored by any of the outlets in the United States, so I don't have anybody really to recommend to go get it from, but I would just, you know, Google where you can find this. Or if you can't, reach out to Volks USA, VOLKS USA. Tell them the Popoplastic sent you. I'm sure they'll put you in touch with a dealer, and you'll be able to find one. And somebody on here will comment in the comment, oh, you can find it at Bob's Discount Plastic Model Shop in Dayton, Ohio. And I'll say, oh yeah, okay. I'm not an expert. I don't know everything about every hobby shop. I do know one thing. Zoukei-Mura makes the best models in the world, aircraft models. And just stick with aircraft. They don't have to start getting into race cars and banana boats and all this other stuff. Just stick with the aircraft because that's all you need to do. All I will ask of you is please, 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 please do an F-86 Sabre. Please, 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 please. And then maybe a really big bomber like a B-17 or, you know, B-24, something like that. B-25. You should do a B-25 because there's few people doing pretty good ones. I think Edward does a good one, but if Zoukei-Mura did B-25, whew, That would be spectacular and a lot of fun, and another one that they would sell 1 million of. Anyway, go and get this. Thank you, folks over there in Zoukei-Mura. I love you guys. You know I love you more than anything else in the modeling world. You guys are the best of the best. God bless you. Continue the fantastic work, and I will continue tooting the horn about Zoukei-Mura from the highest mountaintops. Boop, 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 boop. I love Zoukei-Mura. I'll see you all next time. Next time I'll be showing you me building this Zoukei-Mura. All right? And go check out my earlier videos of me with the other BF109 that I built. There's some videos on there. And I'll see you next time. See you later.
From the land of lost instructions where the glue runs wild,